everybody. Good evening. Hi, and welcome to your weekly online tambayan here at Muzen Core. Ayan, we're so excited because tonight, like always, we have another exciting guest for this evening. And of course, we will be celebrating Father's Day in just a few days. So we're so excited to introduce to you our guest speaker for this evening. So our speaker is a husband and a father to a growing family. He has retired from the corporate life after 18 years of employment and entered the world of entrepreneurship, becoming a successful financial advisor and freelance training consultant. Aside from being a family man and his career in the financial services industry, our speaker is a medical first responder and volunteer rescuer with Rescue 926 and a member of the intercessory ministry at the feast. Despite the risks brought about by the pandemic, he still recognizes the blessing in disguise that it has brought him because he is able to spend more time with his wife, Aurel, and their two young kids, Asher and Cheska. So, hi everyone. I'm happy to introduce to you Sir Francis Navarro. Hi, Sir
Hi,
Francis.
good evening, Kate. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, sir. So, how are you, Sir Francis? How has it been for the past few days?
Well, being a father and a business person and juggling the priorities,
Mhm.
well, it can be challenging, but at the same time fun. No? Yeah, like kanina, I had to rush home. I was supposed to, I had to rush home
Yeah.
from a prior meeting. But
Mm-mm.
I had this engagement in mind, so I rushed home. And despite the car running a bit hot, I made it home safely and on time. Thank God.
Yeah, I see. So, do you still what keeps you busy? Why do you go out, sir? Are you a frontliner right now?
No, we're doing some documentation for the housing loan we're applying for with Pag-ibig.
Ah,
So,
yeah. Errands. Yeah.
errands.
All right. So for this evening, sir, I was actually really excited for your episode because it hits close to home because actually my brother is a stepdad as well.
Mm.
Kaya I mean I'm very eager for him to I hope he's listening right now because I sent him the link. Hi Kuya, are you there?
Hello,
Alright.
Kuya.
Yes. May I know how old is your kid, sir?
Okay, we have two kids now. I'm our older son is Asher. He's 8 years old, and
Mhm.
our baby daughter Francesca. She's 1 year and 5 months old.
Wow, ang layo ng gap nila. How is it being having kids with long gaps?
Well, as expected, ganun din naman. I mean, I don't see any particular challenge to it. No, some people say malayo, some people say malapit, pero sa akin wala naman. I mean, um, it has its advantages because Asher's he's growing more mature and more responsible. So he's also able to help take care of Cheska. Diba? Yun nga lang, because Cheska's 1.5 years old, and I'm 44 years old, I'll have to work until I'm 65 until she graduates.
Yeah, gosh. Okay. So we want to get to know you a bit more. Can you tell us how you met your wife, sir?
Okay, this is the part where I can share some pictures.
Sure.
All right, so I put together a little slideshow. So yeah, and you can see me. So how did I meet my wife? My wife and I are both financial advisors. Okay, so she's been a financial advisor much longer than I have, and she has moved up to the position of unit manager or unit head. So the company we work for, Manulife, is where we met. Okay, so at the time I was employed. Okay, I was employed, and so I was employed in sales management, and she was under the team that I was handling. So it was a work relationship at first.
Mhm.
Okay, so what happened was, because of we were required to meet them, each manager one-on-one at least once a week. And then, we had several other meetings and conversations at the same aside from that. So that's where we met. It was a work relationship. But, work became friendship, it became something more, and here we are now.
Hindi mo wala yung ngiti ko, kinikilig ako sa picture niyo.
Ayan, here are
Mhm.
I was still in the corporate sector here. I ran a team building for her team. So she was a new unit manager and they were a unit head, and she was building up her team. She was recruiting financial advisors, and she wanted something to integrate the team. So she asked me to conduct a team building session for them in Batangas. And this is where it started. We took this kayak ride. Dapat 15 minutes lang, but it ended up going to 1 hour. Then yun, and here is are our first two pictures as a couple.
Wow, couple shirt.
Yeah.
All right. How did you start your relationship? I mean, paano ba siya? Was it love at first sight, knowing that you worked together, or did it just gradually, like, develop?
Well, like I mentioned nga, no, it wasn't love. It wasn't. Well, there was attraction because she's a beautiful woman, right? And apparently she saw me as a handsome man also. But it was work at first. I was there to work and prove myself to that team, diba? So I didn't entertain any attraction at first. I was just there to work. I didn't want to be sidelined or sidetracked or whatever. Pero yun talaga, no? Will ni Lord, it happened.
Yes. How young was her child when you entered her life po?
He was 4. He
Oh.
was 4 years old. So, siguro old enough na may sariling isip na, but young enough na very impressionable pa siya.
Mm. What were the challenges kaya that you faced? I mean, prior to marriage, how was it po ba? Like,
Well,
especially with a kid.
okay, with Asher, he was 4. Syempre, there were challenges in him accepting me as someone new in his mom's life. Kasi for the past several years, sila ng dalawa, di ba? Silang dalawa. And suddenly there's this guy competing for his attention. So it wasn't easy, he would hit me, he would bite me kasi hindi niya ma-express yung siguro na bewilder siya.
Yeah.
But you have, just like any child, but you have to talk to them or deal with them at their level. So you play with them, you watch cartoons, things like that.
Were there any conflict with your family members or her family members, knowing, like, that you two are in a relationship?
Actually, no. I introduced her to my parents before we officially became a couple. About a month before, something like that, no? We took my parents to a restaurant. We had dinner together, and we weren't officially together yet. But I don't know. I introduced them, and they got along. They really liked her, diba? So there was an emotional attachment and acceptance right away.
Well, that's really nice kasi, in telenovelas, it's not usually like that. So,
You have the
alam
evil
mo naman,
stepmother, mga ganon tipo.
oo, alam mo naman, pag very Pinoy setup, di ba? They always
Mm.
question they will always question the authenticity of relationships like this, di ba? Ayan. So, did you were there challenges when you married and lived inside one home, knowing that, yeah, how were you introduced to Asher? How did he receive you becoming his dad?
Okay. The picture I'm showing now, this outing, team building in Batangas, is where I first met Asher. So that was 2017. We got married in 2019. So we had about a year and a half, more, parang halos 2 years na siguro, to integrate, get to know each other. But yun nga, over time, 2017 pa lang, we were getting along very well already.
Mm-mm.
He started off calling me Tito, and then one day, 2018, they dropped me off at the P2P. I was gonna take the P2P going to Alabang, no?
Yeah.
And then they dropped me off. I was gonna ride the bus already. Then he rolled down the window, said, "Goodbye, Daddy."
Aww.
parang kanina tito ako, tapos biglang ngayon daddy. Ano nangyari, di ba? So, that was 2018. So, yun on, parang from then on, it was much easier. And so yun nga, we got married here. And then, yun, we lived together na as a family. By the time we started living as a family, he was already calling me dad. He had accepted me as his father.
Mm-mm.
So here are some pictures. This is in 2019, a month after we got married. This is my mom's birthday. This is Asher in green. So these are my parents. A few months before my dad passed away, and this is the kid in white is Inigo, my nephew. So pinsan ni Asher.
Mm-mm.
So very much accepted siya. There was no friction whatsoever. Um, I have a brother who is also a stepfather to a son. So it wasn't a new thing, kumbaga, 'di ba? So gets na namin. It was, and then we love him. We love him. He's one of us.
Yeah. That's really nice though, especially how were you introduced po ba? This is something that I'm so curious about. How were you introduced to Asher in a sense na was there a talk? Like was there he's not your real father, he's just your stepdad. Was that necessary?
Um, it wasn't like a there wasn't like a Darth Vader moment and I am your father. Nothing like that. No, he for the Star Wars fans out there, you'd get that. No, so nothing like that. Na there was no confusion. I think.
Mm-mm.
Sa akin, by the time he started calling me daddy, ayun na, gets na niya.
Well, that's really nice kasi like you didn't have to like explain to the child that does he meet with his real daddy?
No.
Alright. Lessens the confusion as well, diba? Kasi if there's gonna be like two fathers naman to confuse a child.
Pero alam mo, Kate, I don't know, are you a parent? Kasi kids these days are so smart.
Not yet po, pero with my
Oh.
experience kasi with my nephew nga, kasi my nephew is anak din ng hipag ko sa pagkadalaga. So there was a moment that well, he was so shocked kasi I think he was in grade 1 at that time. What happened kasi with him was the teacher was asking him to show a family picture.
Mm.
And then my sister-in-law kasi, her family name is of course the family name of my brother. Kaso siya kasi, nakapangalan siya sa real
Sa
dad niya.
father, yes.
Yes. So, confused siya kasi yung mga sisters niya, ang pangalan namin.
Yeah.
So,
And he has a
he
different
started
surname.
asking about it. Tapos, yun na. That's how the conversation naman when it came to my nephew. That's how it happened. So there was really this sit down, intense conversation. How do you tell a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, diba? How do you explain na you have two daddies, yung parang ganon, but unfortunately, ganito, ganyan, ganon. So, yeah, sa amin naman, it was like that. But it's really nice though that with you, sobrang smooth, no?
Well, it was for several months no 2017. It wasn't as he was still adjusting and accepting. But he's very smart kasi. So sometimes we have to remind ourselves that he's still a child. Kasi ang talino niya eh. Siguro yung mga napapanood niya, no, his language skills are advanced. His cognitive skills, he knows things.
Mm-hmm.
So gets na niya at a mental level, diba? So um I guess the constant journey is that to make him constantly feel loved.
Mm-mm. I think that's really like you're really correct on that because
Mm.
of course yung attention kasi, diba, there will be inggit
Mm.
and all that. So before to having your second child, how was your relationship with Asher?
Ayan. Okay. Our relationship na 2018, 2019, basically 2018, 2019, we got married 2019, no? He was the only child. Okay? Nasanay siya. And these pictures were taken in 2019.
Mm-mm.
Yun. We got him into taekwondo just to give him an outlet for his physical energy. and he started winning. So once upon a time, I have a black belt in taekwondo as well. So that helped us to bond together.
Wow.
I'd be I'd be the kumbaga kung babae stage mom, I'd be the coach dad. Mm. Yung tipong nahihiya sila sa akin kasi ako yung excited at the sidelines eh. Yan, go, go, go! And
Nakakatawa.
yan, so would be with him at his taekwondo tournaments. Then I'd be coaching him. This picture, this is in the other ones in our bedroom. I was training him at a forms competition,
Mm.
for a forms competition. So that helped us bond. No? But because we're not in our 20s. No? My wife and I are not in their 20s. So it was really a conscious decision to have a child as soon as possible.
Yes.
So 2019, yun. Cheska was conceived. Okay, so Asher knew that in 9 months' time he would have a baby sister.
Mm.
Okay, so binibrief na namin siya. Kasi gusto din naman niya ng kapatid. So we would brief him already. And he accepted it. He knew that Cheska was coming. He wouldn't be the only child for much longer.
I want to know the process po, Sir Francis, how you built your relationship with your son, Asher. I mean, can you like walk us through how it was like as a new dad? Kasi as an instant dad nga eh, in that matter. Kasi when you had him in your life, ilang taon? He was 4, no?
He
He
was
was 4
4.
already. Tapos let's say, for example, 5, 6 years old, daddy ka na niya. So,
Mm.
how was it like to be a new dad to a 6 years old?
Well, so I missed the first 4 years of his life. No, hindi ko siya nakita ng baby,
Mm.
'di ba? He was already, a speaking, thinking human being nung nakilala ko siya. It's not like Cheska na I was in the delivery room, I held her, 'di ba? So siguro there's a different experience din there, 'di ba? But it's hard for me to articulate it kasi I don't really know what I missed with Asher,
Yeah.
'di ba? Basta sa akin, we start here and then we'll continue for the rest of our lives.
When it comes naman po, like, yung relationship nyo now that he has a sister already,
Mm.
can you tell us how has the experience been? Especially, we've been on lockdown. It's not
Mm.
like before kasi, di ba, pwede natin aliwin ang mga bata. They could go
Yeah.
out and play, etc. And now, we're just together at
Yeah.
home all the
That's
time.
true.
So, how is it raising 2 kids together?
Okay, well, syempre it's very different. No? There were times na in 2019, while my wife was pregnant, no, that Asher and I could go out. We'd go out for pizza. We'd go out to fly a kite or something, guy stuff.
Yeah.
We'd watch a movie na kaming dalawa lang, no? And then Cheska was born 2020, January 2020. Tapos a couple months after lockdown na,
Yes.
'di ba? So yun nga, that's like what you said in the introduction. The blessing in disguise there is that unlike the normal scenario where the parents leave in the morning to work,
True.
'di ba? Here we're working from home. So we see them. 'Di ba?
Mm-mm.
Right before we started broadcasting, Asher was here asking if he could borrow my tape. Nagkalat siya dito kanina eh. Sabi ko, anak, from now on, you cannot touch my stuff. Because you get my stuff, you leave it all over the world, all over the place. Tapos pag kailangan ko, wala. So
Yeah.
it's parang blended. We're at a meeting 1 minute, the next minute we're with the kids.
Oo. You're fathering.
And you saw before Cheska was with me, 'di ba? So ganon. It's I don't know, much easier siguro.
Mm-mm.
It's much easier. And the relationship of Asher and Cheska, I think he's already gotten over the selos part.
That's
First few months kasi, di mo maiwasan may selos. And we had to talk to him several times, bakit si Cheska? Bakit laging si Cheska? Laging si Cheska? Di ba?
yeah.
Ako, Ako parang may ganun, bakit siya? Bakit hindi ako?
Mm-mm.
So, we had to make that conscious decision to talk to him talaga. Kasi anak, baby pa si Cheska eh. Diba?
Yeah.
She needs this kind of care.
Mm-mm.
But we also make a conscious decision to give time to him. Like for example, no, sabi niya sa akin, Daddy, let's watch We Bear Bears, yung cartoons. Like, oh my. Oh my. Sige, let's watch. Tapos, feel na ine-explain pa niya yung sino yung mga characters doon, ano nangyayari. Pero in fairness, nag-enjoy ako. Then sabi niya, Mommy, you're required to watch Pokemon with me. Sunod silang Pokemon. So, kumbaga, we allow him to do that. And we give him that time.
Mm-mm.
No? So, I don't know if I'm answering your question, no? But it's been fun. You have to balance working and being a family person.
All in one
Spending,
space.
pardon?
All in one space.
Yes, all in one space. So even if I have this little nook, that's my office ko, no?
Yes.
They come and go din eh.
Yes.
They come and go. It's fun. Minsan nakaka-stress din when you want to focus and nandyan siya, Daddy, 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 Daddy.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
But by this point in time, after more than a year, gets na niya na pag work, work.
Yes.
Jessica doesn't get it yet.
Oh,
But of course, she's just a baby.
yes. Well, I want to know, is it difficult to be a stepfather?
Um,
How is it any different with being a father to your daughter right now?
aside from the first 4 years of his life na hindi ko pa siya kilala,
Mm-mm.
I would say pareho lang. Siyempre may attachment level kami ni Cheska because, I held her when, well, kasi CS eh. So Orel was anesthetized. Habang tulog yung mommy niya, I held her. I held her first. And we have that connection. But that does not diminish yung bond namin ni Asher. So, here's some pictures of us. No, Asher medyo malaki na dito. This picture on the left, this was 2019 New Year's Eve at Greenbelt Chapel. Ito naman nasa kanan is Cheska's baptism. No? And
Mm-mm.
here are pictures of the three of us.
Oh,
Just spending time together. So I would say aside from missing the first 4 years of his life, ganun din.
mm-mm.
I don't distinguish between stepdad and dad. In fact, right before we started broadcasting, Asher was here, no?
Mm-mm.
Sabi niya, Daddy, can I talk to you later? Daddy, can I borrow your alam ko, kinukuha na yung packaging tape ko, gagawa naman siya mga eroplano, mga paper stuff, no?
Yeah.
And he just leaves the stuff lying around. So
Mm-mm.
sabi ko, Asher, mamaya na. Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Tapos nakita niya yung stepdad, stepping up to be a stepdad. Dad, what's a stepdad? Are you a stepdad? What do you think, anak? Sabi niya, no, you're not a stepdad. Then what am I? You're my dad.
Aw.
So, yun, I do not, aside from missing the 4 years of his life, I do not distinguish or I do not make a distinction between dad and stepdad. Basta sa akin, dad. And for Asher, it's dad as well.
Well, that's really good. I mean, ang ganda lang, ang sarap lang pakinggan na you're alam mo, both of you really accepts this role you have in each other's life. And it's really amazing to have that connection with children. I want to know how you discipline your children.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I am really like, this part kasi I am treading on waters. Kasi like, I'm an auntie and I'm a very stage tita talaga. So, these are my challenges. And I want to know on your end po, how do you discipline your children?
Well, as the Bible says, no, in Proverbs, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it.
Amen.
So it's constant reinforcement. No, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but and I tell that to Asher. Anak, I keep telling you this. I keep reminding you. Do you want me to remind you or not? I want you to remind me.
Mm-mm.
No, minsan, I try not to get angry, but sometimes talagang nakakabwisit. Sorry, pardon my French, pero nakakabwisit eh. Minsan, di ba? Minsan, napapalo din siya. Di ba? When he
Oo.
was younger, may face the wall.
OMG.
Mm-mm.
Really?
That worked until he was about, I think, 6. No?
Talaga?
Oo, but now he's 8. I don't think face the wall would work anymore. Here he is. Okay? Yan. We're talking about you. How do I discipline you?
Sure.
Yan. So, how do I discipline him? I talk to him, I remind him in a firm voice.
Mm-mm.
Okay? In fact, my wife tells me I should be more firm with him. Sometimes I need to spank him. Diba?
Naku,
But he tells me
napapagod
naman, he
pala.
doesn't want to be spanked naman.
Hmm.
But discipline, I think we can avoid disciplinary action by regularly reminding him of his responsibilities and his duties, things he's supposed to do,
Yes.
like his common homework, which is supposed to be done every day.
Mm-mm. When it comes to like disciplining him, do you ever have an instance na you cried? O kaya there was this really heavy emotion? Was there a tagpo like that
Oh
already?
yeah, yeah, yeah. When I really get angry,
Mm.
yung parang I lose my temper. Oo,
Yeah.
super, Asher,
So talagang
Pero
may
after that,
sermon mo.
yeah, yeah. Oh, may super sir, may palo pa eh. Pero after that, I feel, Asher, you know what? I'm sad. I don't like getting angry at you. And I
Mm.
talk to him like that, and he's just quiet. Daddy, I'm sorry. But there are times that
Mm.
I get really angry at him. But it's been, oh, he's asking to bar the tape na naman. There are times na, in the past, there are times that I've had to really get angry,
Mm.
but I feel bad about it. So as much as possible, I try to control my temper. I try to speak to him in a firm voice, but not really getting angry at him.
Yeah. When it comes to disciplining Asher, is it like an individual when it comes to your dynamics with your wife? Yung decision on things o kaya especially when it comes with him. Is it something mutual na you talk about together or is it okay for just you to make it or your wife to make it?
In terms of disciplining,
Yes.
it's joint.
All
It's
right.
joint. It's a joint decision. This is our approach to Asher. Let's talk to him like an adult. We don't want to get angry or scold him all the time kasi yun yung tatatak sa kanya eh.
Mm-mm.
Nung bata ako, lagi ako pinapagalitan.
Yeah.
Lagi ako sincere mo na. That's what's gonna, So we try to do it positively. Always encourage. Always do it positively. Kasi pag negative, we don't want him to grow up with anger issues or
Mm-mm.
resentment issues. Kasi he may carry those until he becomes an adult.
Yes, actually. Kaya nga sinasabi nila, it takes a village to raise a child eh.
That's true. That's true.
Do you get
And
help?
pardon,
Do you
do I
get
help?
help? Do you get help with other people aside from your wife when it comes to like, taking care of your kids?
Well, Orel's cousin, we have a cousin, one of her cousins, third cousin of hers, stays here with us. No, and that cousin, si Julie, took care of Orel when she was a baby.
Wow.
So now she's been with us ever since. No? So, we're her family. She's our family. She helps us take care of, especially now nakatutok siya kay Cheska. Asher is big enough na, and he's on vacation now. He can wake up whenever he wants. He can eat basically whenever he wants, no? Medyo independent na siya.
Yeah.
So, we do have someone helping us take care of the kids, si Julie, and talagang we're blessed with that. Kasi we need to be, in our line of work, we need to be working almost constantly.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm curious po. When you look back, like when you got married, how are you different from the person you are now to the person you were before? I mean,
Oh my.
have you ever thought about this? Now that you became an instant father and then now na you really have your own daughter then, how was it? Was there a transition for Francis?
Well, you'd have to ask my wife really. Kasi siya yung But syempre, I would say na I'm not a solo person anymore. I'm not single anymore. So it's a package now eh. Diba? Every decision I make is for sila yung iniisip eh. It's not just me myself eh. Diba? So, yun. Lalo na ngayon, syempre with kids, young kids, diba? Even lalo na financial decisions.
Yeah.
Diba? You can't just spend on something. Dapat pinagplaplanuhan muna.
Yes. When it comes to like, training up your kid, does Asher receive like chores now? Is he aware of those things? Meron na bang ganong klaseng scenario, or may mga did you ever experience like talking to him about him being tamad at home or something? Was there, how do you, I mean, can you like paint us a picture of how it is pag ganong scenario? Kasi most kids nowadays, they can't do away with their gadgets and all. So what are the challenges when it comes to
Okay. Buti tinanong mo yun with gadgets, no? Kasi technically ngayon grounded siya. Pero yung mommy niya nag-ground sa kanya, hindi ako. No?
Mm-mm.
Kasi hindi niya ginagawa. Meron siyang hindi ginawa. So anyway, as far as chores go, yung basic chores niya, basic yung everyday routine niya, taking out the trash.
Oh.
Yung mga trash can sa lahat ng kwarto, binababa niya, he puts it in the main trash can
Mm-mm.
para ilabas, para kunin ng basurero. So yun ang isang chore niya. Yung pangalawang chore niya is make sure that the pitchers ng water are filled and in the ref.
Yeah.
So simple lang. And of course, making ligpit yung mga laruan niya, things like that. So, yun ang ano niya, yun ang talagang basic responsibilities niya. Aside from, of course, studying and doing homework.
Yeah, kid stuff. So I wanna know po, on your opinion, what makes a real father?
Well, that's a deeper question. No? It's not just biological, but it's also the commitment to be, diba? It's a commitment to be a father, the commitment to love the child, to love the children, to bring them up, to raise them, not just physically, but also spiritually, emotionally, mentally, everything. In every way that a child should be raised and nurtured. So it's a commitment. And I may not be the biological father, but that's fine. Commitment wise, I'm doing my best to step up to the role of a father.
Yeah. If you have po, what are the messages you would want to, do you have a message you would want to tell couples who are also like you, who have this type of family dynamics?
Okay.
And any tips just in case?
I think it's simple, no? Just love the child. Diba? Love the child. You're in that relationship, accept the child as your own. Raise the child as your own, treat him as your own. There should be no distinction.
Mm-mm.
No distinction na siya, ito, siya. Hindi ganon. They're together. Magkapatid yan. Diba? They should grow up loving each other. There should be no discrimination whatsoever. So I think it might sound overly simple, pero yun talaga yung pagmumulan nun, love and acceptance.
Yeah, actually, that's so true. I mean, I know there are couples out there who had challenges with scenarios like this. Kasi like I know someone who had a stepson na naglayas when he
Hmm.
found out na hindi pala siya tunay na anak. Mga ganong eksena. And you're right talaga, Sir Francis eh. This scenarios could have been prevented if they had like this, open relationship somehow, like the one you have with Asher, di ba? Kasi it lessens the gap nga that they say na
Yes.
madalas yun kasi talaga eh, no? Those are the things that hinders.
Pero if I may add, Kate, no, each family, each situation is different, no.
Yes.
Um, that's in that situation that instance you mentioned na naglayas, there might be other factors there na we don't know about. No? But in our situation naman, the father naman was never involved from the start eh.
Mm, oh,
So anyway, ako yung kumbaga parang ako yung kinalakihan ni Asher, 'di ba? He knows the situation, 'di ba? It was explained to him already. Basta sa amin from the very beginning, and from the very beginning, I never positioned myself as anything else as but his father,
mm-mm.
'di ba? And
You
I did not say I am your father, 'di ba? He's the one who said na daddy.
oo.
I let it come from him.
I'm curious, Sir Francis, legality-wise, did you do any step to like, is Asher right now under your name, or is he still under your wife's name?
Legally, we're still undergoing that process, the process of adoption.
Oh, okay.
It's time. It takes a long time, mga 2 years, and it's quite costly.
Mm-mm.
Diba? So step by step siya. But we're working on that. We're working on that. So he does not have my last name yet, okay? But that's something we're working on.
So ganon yung process. So there will be like an adoption so that he could be under your name.
Yes.
I see. Well, that's exciting news.
And well, I guess it's another piece of advice that I'd like to leave to all the couples here. No? Try to work that out. Yung legal adoption. Consult a lawyer, talk to a family lawyer about it. Because it will, syempre, nandiyan na yung love eh. But
Yes.
aside from the love relationship, the parental relationship, no, put a
So,
legal foundation to it as well. Okay? So that your stepchildren, 'di ba, will also be legally, kumbaga, legally your heirs. And they
protect.
will be entitled, yes, may legal protection din sila. And they will be entitled to inheritance as well as your heirs.
Yeah, actually, well, especially you're in the financial industry, so you're
Yes.
aware talaga of like insurances and all that, the
Yes.
legal stuff and all. So this is really crucial. So shout out to you, couples who right now are in the same situation. Maybe
Mm.
you really consider this as well for the future of your children. Ayan.
I've made Asher, in my insurance policies, I've made them a beneficiary as well.
Mm-mm.
So that's part of giving him that
Yeah.
legal protection and that legal inheritance in as my son.
Yes. Okay, so I was informed that you have something special to share with us tonight. And let me just pull it up. Here you go.
Oh wow! Thank you.
So we've heard that you are part of this book.
Yes, yes.
Talk to us more about
Wow, ang
this.
cute naman. Okay. Is that for me? Do I
I
get the correct?
Yeah, I've heard po that you're part of this book.
Oh yeah. I Janice interviewed me last year. The author, Janice, the author, no.
Yes.
So I did a write up, and it's included there.
Really? Can you what is this book about po ba?
Well, it's about fatherhood. No? She talked to different fathers with different situations and different scenarios in life, and each father there shares their own unique story about parenting. So what I shared was basically what I told you this evening.
Mm-mm. So it's about you stepping up to be a stepdad. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I've also heard that they have a virtual book launch this coming Sunday on 6 p.m. So we'd like to invite you guys who are watching with us right now to join the book launch of Tatay is My Hero book written by Miss Janice de la Cruz. And this is a story of 24 inspiring Filipino fathers, yeah, including pala si Brother Bo Sanchez. Oh,
Yes.
he's here as well. Ayan. So we're so excited to get a copy of this book, guys. Just pre-order. So we will be posting the details on our page So look out for the story of Sir Francis. He is one of the contributors for this book. Ayan, I hope you guys could get a copy of this book that we are flashing on your screens right now. You can take a screenshot and then get back to us. You can message us directly here on Facebook should you want a copy of this book so that we can share with you the link for the sign up. Ayan. So, Sir Francis, before we end this show, I parang if this is a time capsule, can you share a message that you would want Asher to hear? Let's say, for example, you know naman, whatever you put on the internet, it's in the internet forever. Should there be a time that he would come across this video at this point in your life, what is your message to your son?
Wow, time capsule. I actually wrote this letter for him and
Wow.
this one for Cheska. They're just here in my desk. Ang instruction ko, pag wala na ako, buksan niyo yan.
Aww. Ang morbid pero ang sweet.
No, I mean, it's thinking ahead, kumbaga, 'di ba? In parang the same vein na may insurance policies ako na beneficiary siya. Sabi nga niya, "Daddy, I'll be a millionaire." Natutuwa nga siya eh. Pero sinabi ko, "Pero anak, I have to die first, ha?" Ay, wag na lang. Kasi pambili daw niya ng toys yung millions na makuha niya. So, time capsule, anak, kuya, well, without sounding too corny, no, I just basically tell him that, I love him, that, he's my son, and I always pray for him to grow up to be, the best husband and father that God would want him to be. To take care of his parents, take care of his sister, to take care of his own family. Diba? And to always remember that me, his mom, and his sister love him very much. And that's what I would say.
Gosh, so Asher, if you're watching this and you're 15 years old, alam mo na. Anyway, thank you so much, Sir Francis, for joining us this evening and then sharing your story of your beautiful family.
Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you, Kate and Anne, for having me on the show. I
It's really
enjoyed it a lot.
have stories like yours to be put out here in the world. Kasi it's nice to know that there are really good things that happen. It's not all, the negatives when it comes to especially these types of family dynamics. Kasi 'di ba, how we are raised talaga sometimes, 'di ba? We're being taught na pag matrasta, bad yan, yung mga ganon. How it's been painted on the teleseries. So, ayan. We have a comment nga here from Miss Anne saying na not all step parents are evil.
That's true, 'di ba? Parang may stereotype ng actually yung evil naman sa mga fairy tales yung stepmother eh, hindi naman stepfather, 'di ba?
Oo nga, wala pa. We should email Disney about this. Guys, you should step
Oh,
and write about
but the stepfather, kung may stepfather man, parang I think he becomes a non-entity. Nandyan lang siya,
Yeah.
'di ba? Pero wala naman talaga siyang role in the formation of the children.
Mm-mm. Which is not true in real life, guys.
Yes, that's true.
Kasi some fathers talaga, let's take Sir Francis as an example, diba? Is very, very present in the
Involved.
life of all his children, diba? So
All
yeah.
two of them.
So this is really something that you guys should pick up. So personally, my takeaways from this segment is that protect your children, seek the legal action when it comes to um, adopting them and then giving
Yes,
them
do that.
chances to have protection for their future as well. So yeah, so guys, I do hope you enjoyed this segment that we've had. I hope we've earned the privilege of your time, and we'll see you guys again next week here on your regular 8 p.m. Wednesday nights tambayan at Muzen Core. I'm so excited for our next episodes, and I'll see you guys next week. Happy Father's Day po, Sir Francis.
Thank you
Advance.
very much, Kate. Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to all of you out there.
Happy
See you
Father's Day,
next.
everyone, in advance. This
Bye.
weekend pa yun.